So then I would go and I would pitch those over to the senior community saying, hey, I can help your conversion rate. I talked to all of them and they said, hey, it takes about 6 months for somebody to transition. I said, what if I can shorten that down to 2 weeks? Is that something that would help your guys' business out? And they were like, yeah, absolutely it would. So we got sent our first one after the first week of me doing that. And that was our first deal, March of 2022.
Crazy.
And that had a $200,000 spread on that deal because we didn't know what we were doing either. So we were shooting in the dark on what our offer needed to be. And we're like, let's just go a little bit lower than we need to just because we don't fully know. And it just really took off from there. We ended up doing 23 deals that year using that strategy. My boss has a talk with me. It wasn't getting fired necessarily. He goes, hey, could we have a mutual separation? He's like, I just don't think that like this is a good fit. He's like, but I can't fire you. So like, would you be open to a mutual separation? I said, can you pause that real quickly? And I ran into the other room because she was getting ready in the morning. I said, hey, this is what my boss said. And she goes, quit the job. Yeah, quit the job. Go all in on real estate.
Take a severance package. Hold on. I'm like, let's negotiate a little something.
Yeah.
A little bit of a runway. They have nothing to fire you on. But if you're getting laid off, let's make it work and let's go into real estate all the way in. Like this is great. Like this is
our
sign
shot
from God.
This is our shot right now.
Exactly.
Let's go.
Yeah.
This is it. Putting it in our lap, which was great. So as soon as that happened, that same day, I ended up canceling all of our services, VAs, any cold calling, any strategy that we were doing that other people were doing. Because I was like, this is a really competitive market. This is early 2022. Real estate's on fire. There's lines out the door.
And we're in Phoenix, Arizona.
Yeah. And people were moving here like crazy. So I was like, I got to figure something else out. I have to carve out my own niche because if I just do what everybody else is doing, I'm just competing against people that have more ad spend, that have bigger resources than I do. So I have to figure out my own thing. And that's when we really decided, we're like, how can we use our existing experience that we have right now? We both come from B2B corporate sales. What can I do and where can I get leads from where I can leverage the experience that I do have in the medical field and in corporate sales? So we put together a plan of going to assisted living communities because most seniors in America have less than $1,000 to their name. 60% of those seniors wouldn't know where to find $400 if they needed it. So the majority of them that are now aging out, this whole silver tsunami that people talk about, need to go to assisted living to be taken care of. And most of them don't have any money, but the one thing that they do have, most of them, is a free and clear house because they bought those houses for $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 back in the day. So I started going around to assisted living communities, printed out some brochures, basically productized all the ways you can transact real estate to make it look like I had all these different services, sub to seller finance, all the stuff, cash deals, but I called them all different things.
Different things. Yeah.
Yes. So then I would go and I would pitch those over to the senior community saying, hey, I can help your conversion rate. I talked to all of them and they said, hey, it takes about 6 months for somebody to transition. I said, what if I can shorten that down to 2 weeks? Is that something that would help your guys' business out? And they were like, yeah, absolutely it would. So we got sent our first one after the first week of me doing that. And that was our first deal, March of 2022.
Crazy.
And that had a $200,000 spread on that deal because we didn't know what we were doing either. So we were shooting in the dark on what our offer needed to be. And we're like, let's just go a little bit lower than we need to just because we don't fully know. And it just really took off from there. We ended up doing 23 deals that year using that strategy.
Wow.
Crazy.
So is that how Senior Gaps was formed? Was really finding your own niche and being forced into the marketplace and targeting. But I feel like that's the key that a lot of new investors miss is they're like just trying to do this wide marketing umbrella and try all these different strategies and like do fully squirrel syndrome, right? Instead of just going really deep into one thing, because once you have proof of concept in one thing, you can achieve a lot of success. Like what you said, you did 23 deals.
I mean, I think the other side to that is oftentimes, especially when we're getting started, we do what we're told to do or what everybody else is doing. Yeah. Right. And I think what we have realized is that everybody has a special skill. Everybody has some kind of thing to offer that is unique to just them.
Right.
But you have to find out what that is. You know what I mean? Yeah. And for you guys to go back and look at, okay, what do I have? Like what can I rely on? What can I build out of my experience? And you come up with this brand new strategy, right? It's brilliant. And at the end of the day, like, real estate's been around for a long time, but was anybody doing what you guys were doing? Yeah. You know what I mean? You figured something out. in an industry that's been here forever. So that should show people like there are ways out there that are not discovered yet. And like, you don't just have to do what everybody else is doing.
Yeah.
Or you can do it and put your spin on it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, what's your experience, right? So again, leading back to it, we spend a lot of times in the hospital systems, at doctors' offices. So we understand the medical industry. And that's where a lot of these senior communities are focused on memory care and health and taking care of these people. So it was like for like almost in the same context. Whereas I could probably go get leads from plumbers as well, because let's think about that. Let's say somebody's house has a huge flood in it. They don't have the money. Maybe they don't have the insurance claim that they can get on that. So now they have a $10,000, $20,000 repair that they have to make, paying retail on that. They don't have the money. Who's the first person to know about that before it hits the distressed seller list?
Yeah.
The plumber's the first person to know about that. So that plumber could refer it to us. We could use that plumber to give him business. There's so many ways you can use that strategy of a B2B sales.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I love that. Did you guys heard it here first? Like go to your vendors.
I mean, our first way that we used that strategy was with junk removal companies. And we did that like our second year in. And I had that same realization that you had. I was like, these people that are going to sell their house, they think the first thing they need to do is get it cleaned out because they have to get it list ready, right? And so who do they call first? They call junk removal companies to come give them bids. And I was like, what if I formed a relationship with the junk removal companies and I got them to send us the leads? Because what I found out was a ton of people don't realize how expensive junk removal is. So they'll call the junk removal company out there and the junk removal company will bid it and they'll never get the job. So when I was talking with them, they were like, we maybe get 25% of the jobs that we bid. And I was like, well, hey, if you send me that lead and I buy the house, I will 1000% use you. So they were very incentivized to give us the bids. And then I would also give them referral fees. So like, there's so many different ways to be able to do that. And I think we bought like 7 houses the first year with junk removal companies. So
that's so good.
For sure.
Well, they're the ones doing all the marketing spend to find these leads too. That's the cool part. That's the other thing I say to everybody. I'm like, this is a free way of doing it. The title company can get you some brochures printed out for free. That's what we did. So title company did it for us. But outside of that, they're doing all the marketing spend. So I'm like, who has the leads that I want? That's the biggest thing that I'm trying to understand is who has the leads that I want and who can I connect with?
And what is their pain point too? I think, Kamahai, you kind of alluded to this too. How can you incentivize them to want to work with you? And that's, I think, a huge piece that people are not understanding. A lot of people give up on any kind of business to business really quick because they don't understand how to build a win-win relationship. Like when we talk about these senior communities, people are still like, why would they be referring to you? They just can't logically understand it. But if you really break it down, if you think about it, these seniors are old, they're sick. Maybe mom just got diagnosed with Alzheimer's. Doctor said you're no longer able to live within your home.
Right.
And that house, 90% of the time, is what's holding back the senior from moving on to the facility because they can't sell it. Because generally what we see, if somebody's health declines, their property does too.
Also
no longer
everything
fixing
does.
that window. They're not, the pool is sitting empty, you know, for 10 plus years and they're not maintaining it. It's just kind of starting to go downhill. And then your traditional agent can't help because it's not, you know, a beautiful house that they're ready to, you know, list. A lot of it is hoarder houses. So it's like these communities, they want these people to come in because obviously that's how they make money. But they can't get these people to transition because this house is holding them back. So you have to approach this business and thinking, how can I be a solution to every single party that I serve? How can I create win, 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 win all around? And that's where your business really will blow up.
Time to get paid, blow. Time to get paid. Time to get paid, blow up like.